Episode 15: Why People Fear Their True Selves. Most people believe their greatest fear is failure. Others believe it is rejection, embarrassment, loss. And while these fears are certainly powerful, Carl Jung believed there was a deeper fear hiding beneath them all. The fear of becoming who you truly are. At first, this idea sounds strange. Why would anyone fear being themselves? Shouldn't authenticity feel liberating? Shouldn't self-discovery feel empowering? In theory, yes, but reality is more complicated. Because becoming your true self often requires letting go of the person you pretend to be, and that process can be terrifying. From the moment we enter the world, we begin adapting to expectations. Parents have expectations, teachers have expectations, friends have expectations, society has expectations. Slowly, we learn which parts of ourselves receive approval and which parts create discomfort. The approved parts are encouraged, the rejected parts are hidden. Over time, an identity begins to form. An identity designed to survive, to belong, to fit in, to avoid rejection. Carl Jung called part of this identity the persona, the social mask we wear, the version of ourselves we present to the world. The problem is that many people spend so much time developing the persona that they lose contact with who they really are. They become experts at performing, experts at pleasing, experts at adapting, yet strangers to themselves. This is where the fear begins, because somewhere deep inside, most people know there's a difference between who they are and who they pretend to be. And acknowledging that difference changes everything. Imagine a person who has spent 20 years trying to be what everyone expects. They choose the safe career, the acceptable opinions, the predictable lifestyle, the approved personality. Then one day they begin asking difficult questions. What do I actually want? What do I truly believe? What kind of life would I choose if nobody were judging me? These questions sound simple, but they are dangerous because honest answers often require change, and change threatens stability. Many people would rather live with quiet dissatisfaction than face the uncertainty of transformation. This is one reason authenticity is so rare. It requires courage, not the courage to fight other people, the courage to face yourself. Jung believed every person possesses hidden potential, talents that remain undeveloped, strengths that remain unexplored, dreams that remain unpursued. But hidden potential creates a strange kind of anxiety, because potential carries responsibility. The moment you recognize what you are capable of, excuses become harder to maintain. You can no longer pretend ignorance. You can no longer claim you never knew. And knowing creates pressure. This is why many people unconsciously avoid discovering their true abilities. It is safer not to know, safer to remain average, safer to remain hidden, safer to remain familiar. Yet safety often comes at a cost. The cost is fulfillment. The cost is meaning. The cost is authenticity. There is another reason people fear their true selves. The true self is not always comfortable. Many people imagine self-discovery as a pleasant experience, a journey filled with confidence and inspiration. But genuine self-discovery often reveals uncomfortable truths. Perhaps you are more ambitious than you admit. Perhaps you are more afraid than you realize. Perhaps you seek approval more than you thought. Perhaps you carry resentment. Perhaps you envy people you claim to dislike. These discoveries can challenge everything you believe about yourself. The ego resists them, because the ego prefers certainty. It prefers familiar stories. It prefers a simple identity. But human beings are not simple. We are complex, contradictory, layered. The true self contains strengths and weaknesses, virtues and flaws, light and shadow. To know yourself fully means accepting all of it, and many people find that difficult. There is also a social cost to authenticity. When people change, relationships change. Not everyone welcomes that change. Some people prefer the old version of you, the version that was predictable, the version that never challenged expectations. the version that always said yes, the version that stayed small. Growth can make others uncomfortable, not because growth is wrong, but because it forces comparison. Your transformation becomes a reminder of possibilities they may be avoiding. This creates resistance, and human beings naturally fear rejection. The desire to belong is deeply rooted within us. For thousands of years, isolation could mean death. Our ancestors survived through connection. As a result, modern humans still carry an intense sensitivity to social exclusion. This sensitivity often keeps people trapped. Trapped in roles, trapped in identities, trapped in lives that no longer fit. The fear is understandable, but Jung believed there is a greater danger than rejection, the danger of abandoning yourself, the danger of spending your life becoming who others want you to be. Instead of becoming who you were meant to become, this idea lies at the heart of Jung's concept of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming your authentic self. Not the self society demands, not the self your family expects, not the self your fears create, the authentic self, the complete self, the integrated self. This process is not easy. It requires honesty, self-awareness, reflection, courage, and perhaps most importantly, the willingness to disappoint expectations, not through rebellion, not through arrogance, but through authenticity. The willingness to tell the truth, the willingness to acknowledge your desires, the willingness to pursue what matters, even when others do not understand. Perhaps this is why so few people complete the journey. Because the path toward authenticity often feels lonely, at least in the beginning, but there is something remarkable waiting on the other side. Freedom. The freedom to stop pretending. The freedom to stop performing. The freedom to stop carrying identities that no longer belong to you. The freedom to live honestly. And honest living creates a kind of peace that approval can never provide. In the end, most people fear their true selves because authenticity demands change, and change always involves uncertainty. But the greatest tragedy is not uncertainty. The greatest tragedy is reaching the end of your life and realizing you spent decades playing a role designed to satisfy everyone except yourself. Carl Jung believed that the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. The question is whether you are willing to face the fear that stands in the way, because on the other side of that fear, your real life may be waiting.